Right, so it's 8 o'clock. Time for us to get started. So what I'm going to do right now is, for the first part of our training, I'm going to pass you over to our upline sponsor from Utah in the United States. I said in the message I put in WhatsApp and in the Facebook group that the training we get from this guy is absolutely incredible. And from the day we joined, I have not missed a single training that this guy's put on. And he always blows me away. So without saying any more, Brandon, I'm going to turn it over to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Boyd.
Guys, how you doing? Super excited to be on here. I literally just closed another trade, and I actually want to be a testimonial for this team. I actually have 3 trading accounts. I just closed another trade, but look, I'm up another 10,000. Look at this account. I'm up almost 10,000 times. Now look at the account balance at the top right, 448,000. Look at my existing trades I'm in right now. Okay, so for the people who'll be like, is that a demo account? Here's a live account. Jamie Boyd Live, Q goes away. That's the account that I use. But I'm up right now. And the other account that I have, this smaller account, but anyway, for those who didn't see it, this was a live account. I want to be a testimonial. I started, and I want you guys to see this live. So I started this account late last week, and this is to basically give a testimonial for this team here, what you guys are doing. This account's already done about 46% as of this morning. Basically, it was just like $800 something. But if you look at the history, it's all blue. It's all blue. And even my drawdown is reasonably small overall. So I want to say what you guys are doing is working. If you follow exactly what Roger, Simon tell you to do, at the end of the day, you're going to end up winning. Okay. I wanted to show you guys that for belief, not so that we could see that, post that kind of stuff on, social media and stuff like that, but just to show you guys to kind of raise your belief that what we are doing does indeed work. In fact, those trades I'm in right now, I'll probably end the day between 75,000 to 100,000 profit for the day. So again, and believe.
Claire, can you mute your microphone, please?
Yeah, Claire, if you're on, just make sure to mute your line. Listen to it. Real quick, I just want to make sure we don't have the background noise there. Roger, on your end, on host, are you able? Okay, there you go. Perfect. So the reason why I want to show you that, guys, is because what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. It starts this tiny little seed with a big future, right? You start with a small account, it starts to grow. And then what starts to happen? People want to know what you're doing. They see the results. They want to build. They want passive income. So what I'm going to do today, and I am doing a training tonight. I realize most of you guys are going to be asleep. I'm doing a training on the Instagram platform, how to get people to chase you rather than you chasing people. We are going to record that call so that you guys actually will be able to see it. You'll be able to share it. But let me do a share screen with you here because I want to talk about on the affiliate side. Let me go right here. Okay. So how many of you actually want to attract more enrollments to you? If so, put building in the chat box. If you want to actually attract people to you and so you just have to chase after people, I want you to put building in the chat box. I want to see how many people really want to build this thing. And you know what's funny, and I know Roger and Simon will agree with me on this. People tell me all the time, oh, I don't want to build. If you made the money I made, you'd want to build. You'd want to build if you were actually successful. Does that make sense? Like, of course you don't want to build when you're not making money. And all of a sudden, when you start making $5, $10, $15, $20,000 a week, you're like, man, I like this building stuff. So we have to raise your belief and also raise your results at the same time. So let me show you what I've been able to do. I'm going to give you 5 keys on how I've been able to attract more people to me. Now, everything I say, it is the truth. And I'll tell you why, because it's documented on the leaderboard. If you go to the leaderboard for all-time results, I'm number 3 in the company. And I plan to continue to smash a lot of enrollments in 2020. I've enrolled nearly 800 people in this company personally. So I know how to attract people to me. In fact, I haven't had to reach out to anybody in the last 6 years. So I'm going to show you how to attract more people. Well, number 1, You got to become an attractive person. Now, I'm not saying that you have to look as good as Roger and Simon. That's how they're getting their signups. Those guys are looking good, and so people just want to sign up with them, right? But you got to become an attractive person. What that means is someone that other people want to emulate in a positive way. So I'm not talking about your looks. I'm talking about the person that you are, because what's the most important thing is the person that you are and what you actually put off to other people. So you've got to become an attractive person, somebody that people actually want to do business with. Key number 2, you want to create attractive social media pages. Now, I've been told time and time again, well, our team, we got, people that are older and stuff like that. Look, the reality is this. I don't care what people's ages are. If you don't know how to do this stuff, then get someone on the team. Even if you have to hire somebody, do it. Facebook, Instagram, etc. The reason is because your social media in the next 5 years is going to be worth more than a college degree, okay? It is the billboard for your life. It's the billboard for your business. If you do not have good social media, all I will tell you is this: it's going to be more difficult for you to hit the type of levels and ranks that you want to hit, okay? I'm not saying you can't hit chairman and beyond without it. What I'm saying is it's going to be a lot easier. Why? Because people are going on social media for 7, 8, 9 hours a day. That's where they're spending their time. So can you imagine there being like a McDonald's in your city and then there's no sign? They're not going to go in. So this is the sign of your business. You need to be a billboard, online and offline. Become an attractive person, have attractive social media. It's got to be good looking and it's got to be professional, okay? Number 3, you always want to add value to people. So 2 to 3 times a day, I put on some type of education or something inspirational, whether it's a quote, a video, a picture, or something. I want to share things that inspire people, lift people up. The reason why I say that is this: you got to give people a reason as to why they want to come back to your page. Think about it. If you were to see your own social media, would you want to come to your page every day? Think about that for a second. If you went to your social media, would you actually want to join you? Would you enroll yourself? Okay, and I know we talked about this before a few weeks ago. I did a social media training. This is a little bit different. But at the end of the day, you want to add value to people. You want to share things that inspire and lift them up. Key number 4 is you want to focus on results. What happened to you guys? In fact, let's do this again. I'm going to do a stop share. When I show this to you guys, I think we got, okay, good. We muted them out. Look at, okay. So you saw it a little bit ago at $9,000. What is it at now? It's almost at $12,000. It's a little over $11,000. What is this doing for you? This is $28,000 for the day. What's that doing for you? It's raising your belief level. It's raising your belief level. Now, when I say show the results, I'm not saying take that and just throw it up on your social media. We'll get in trouble with the FTC, right? But what you do want to show is that, hey, we're catching this number of pips. We've grown our accounts. Here's a chart. Here's the graph of our last trade, that kind of stuff that's company compliant. That's the kind of stuff that you want to share, because at the end of the day, let's say, in fact, let me take off the screen share again. Let's say that this product right here, which in the US is really popular, Bang. Now, typically, I just drink water all day. It's got all my affirmations and stuff on here. But if I was going to sell this product and I told people that it helps people lose weight, frankly, they don't care about the science of the product right here. They don't really, most people don't really actually care about that. In fact, the text is so small, you can't even read it. So they don't really care. But if I told you that the average customer using this is losing about 5 pounds a month, you'd probably start buying this thing for $1.50, right? So at the end of the day, what that tells me is that the only thing that people really care about is the results. Now, your team is growing significantly. Why? Because people are getting results. Before that, if they weren't getting results, or maybe their results were up and then down and then up and down, and then guess what people do on the team? They sit back. I'm not sharing this business with anybody, man. I lost $40 today. I'm not telling it until my account starts growing. I'm not telling anybody about this thing. And then those same people, they come in and they cross their arms. I'm not telling anybody about this thing until we're making money. And then all of a sudden you guys make $80 for the day and you're like, oh my gosh. And you have no problem. In fact, you didn't even need a script. on how to talk to somebody just all of a sudden becomes natural to you. You didn't need any training. You needed no scripts. Guess what you did? You said, hey, man, I'm making money from my phone. Hey, man, I'm making money from my phone. How hard was that? They want info. Guys, that goes to prove the only thing that people care about is results. That's the reason why I say that. At the end of the day, you want to focus on results, the benefits of what we actually have to offer, the lifestyle that you're living, that you guys can travel, that you guys can choose to do things on your own time. Those are the kind of things that after 20 years of doing this, I can tell you without fail that people typically only care about the results. It is the only thing that they care about. They don't necessarily care about the science of how trading works. They just want to know that it does work, okay? Key number 5, reach out to 5 to 10 people a day. Now, this is a little bit revised because the training we're going to do tonight is, and I'm not ever going to say that you don't need to reach out to people. All I'm saying is that you're going to get people reaching out to you through your DMs, through your Facebook, Instagram, etc., your LinkedIn, your email, your text message, is that we have ways where people can reach out to you, but here's the key. There's no secret to this business. It's all about exposures. How many people am I talking to? Who watched the video? Did they hop on the webinar that we're doing, right? There is no secret. The secret, if there is one, is just get eyeballs on the presentation. That's it. So am I reaching out to 2, 3, 4 people a day? Am I doing that 5, 6 days a week? If not, why not? Because I can't be expected that I'm going to hit chairman with a platinum 150 work ethic. Does that make sense? Like if you want to hit chairman, that means you got to have the chairman work ethic. And I don't care if you guys have full-time jobs and families or whatever it is you got going on. I've got a wife and 6 children. I know what it's like to be busy. I've got a very busy church calling, and our kids, we had 11 events the past 2 weeks just with our kids, okay? So I know what it's like to be super, super busy. I did work a full-time job, 60 hours a week, and part-time created a 6-figure income, okay? In fact, it was a 6-figure monthly income, $154,000 a month at the age of 24. Why? Because I reached out to people, okay? So tonight, we'll show you on the recording when you watch it that you'll be able to get people chasing after you and hitting you up. I haven't had to reach out to anyone for the last 6 years. Why? Because I laid the groundwork 10, 15 years ago to where I can do what I do today. Okay, now when somebody messages you, a lot of people screw this whole thing up. Like if they're actually gonna message you, they wanna work with you, they wanna know more about what you do, this is where a lot of people screwed up. What the heck do you say? Do you show them the winner's circle? Do you say, hey, here's our results, this is what I do? I mean, what are the details about what you say? How do you approach them? Well, here's some ideas that I came up with that I believe are powerful. Number 1, do not just send a video. This is a big mistake that a lot of people make. They're lazy, and so they just say, watch this video, right? They just send a link, and then guess what? The person thinks it's like pretty much spam, right? Don't just send people a video or, hey, just hop on this webinar, all right? Now, this point right here, point number 2, is something that I've become really good at over the years, is qualifying people. You first want to find out if they're a good fit for doing business with you, okay? So, for example, you could ask one question, what their desires are. Maybe you could ask why they're inquiring. You know, why did they reach out? How motivated are they? They might be able to get like to the point where they're like, look, I'm sick of my job. I'm tired of being in debt. I want freedom. You know, I want to be able to do the things that I really want to do on my time frame, right? Why did they decide to reach out? So you could take one and ask one question. What is it you're looking to do? Why did you reach out? What is it you're interested in? You know, how much time are you willing to put in? Are you willing to put in 2, 5, 10 hours a week, right? These are the things I want to know because I at the end of the day, here's the reality, and I think you guys can relate to this because I definitely know I can't after 20 years. I don't want to babysit people. I want to work with very, very hungry people. If you read Think and Grow Rich, what did he say in Napoleon Hill? You need to work with people that have a burning white heat of desire. A burning desire, okay? You're not just looking for the everyday people. You're looking for people that are willing to make a change, okay? And then key number 3 is actually speak with them. Now, this point is really important. I know everyone kind of communicates a different way. The way that's been super effective for me, whether it's through text message, an Instagram message, a Facebook message, is I actually voice message them. And a lot of times they voice message me back because, again, people kind of, monkey see, monkey do. They're going to kind of follow the way that you do things. And so it's now more personable. Whereas you just send a script, sometimes the problem with the script is it can look like it's scripted, right? It could look like it was just copied and pasted and it looks a little spammy. So I send a voice message and it could say something like this: hey, what's going on? It's Brandon. Thanks for hitting me up. I saw that you whatever. And I just go into the thing. But now that it's a voice message, they take it more seriously and it is more personable. So whether it's on the phone, a Zoom, a message, you want to have them hear your voice, but you also want to hear theirs if possible, because then you can know in the tone of their voice, not just what they say, but the tone of their voice. This is a person who is hungry for success. So let me show you this real quick. And then I'm going to open up for Roger to ask questions from the group. Okay. Number one key, become an attractive person. You want to be the type of individual that people want to do business with. Number two, create attractive social media. If you don't know how to do it, find someone on the team or outside the team that knows how to do it. Three, add value. At the end of the day, that's what our life is about, is adding value to other people. If you don't believe me, read all the John C. Maxwell leadership books. At the end of the day, people want to have value added to their lives. They want to be inspired and lifted up. Number four, focus on results. Guys, the reason why your team is growing at this point is because you guys are getting results and then people are sharing. Now, I will say this, not enough of you are sharing the result. Remember what I said a few weeks ago? I feel that we are selfish and that we have an obligation if we are not sharing this with other people. What we're saying is, hey, I'm going to let those people stay broken in credit card debt with car payments and house payments, and I'm going to keep all the money to myself. And you may sit back and say, well, no, I'm just waiting for no, you got the results. You know what we have works. We now have an obligation to go and tell other people about this. And then the last key, again, is to either reach out or get the people chasing after you. The main thing is this: you want to actually be communicating with people. So if it's just a couple people a day and you're reaching out, they're reaching out to you, just talk to them. Again, this is part-time. It's like Jim Rohn said, you're working full-time on your job, part-time on your fortune. So if you're willing to dedicate an hour, 2 hours a day, it can change your life. What you do after the hours of your work is what determines your future. Now, I've had the moms say to me, well, I take care of the kids. I get it, right? So we all have a different thing. I have the kids too. My wife, we're super busy. But the bottom line is what you do on the time that you have is what's going to determine your future. These are the major keys. They're going to attract more people to your business. Because I can tell you right now, and I'm going to do a share screen on my, let me bring up my Instagram. First of all, I just want to make sure that I get the share on the right thing here. Okay. So here's my Facebook. So you go here. I showed it to you before. It's got my family and stuff like that. But then we got my Instagram. So when people come to my Facebook or my Instagram, they can see that I'm the kind of individual who okay, there we go. I'm the kind of individual you can see spending time with family, traveling, business, speaking, going to kids events, hanging out with, successful partners and stuff like that. So when people come here, they go, wow, this person is obviously into health. It looks like that they are, making something happen. It's wanting me to continue as Fit Jamie, which is my wife's account. Heck, let's just go show her account. Let me see if I can log in here. Well, it stayed on mine. Okay, perfect. So, but anyway, they come here and they see, wow, this person looks like that they have a great marriage, right? Like, how are they staying young and fit, having all these children? They look like that they're sleeping on the beach. So they obviously travel together. Photo quotes, inspirational stuff, fitness videos. Again, business, travel. So again, they come here. This is the billboard of your business. Do people want to do business with you, right? So this is very important for you guys to understand. So what I'm going to do is to stop share, turn it back to Roger. And Roger, if you have questions and the group has questions, I want you guys to go ahead and ask them. I want to answer a couple questions here before we get off. Make sure that you guys have the people that you need before we do our training tonight.
Okay, Brandon. Well, guys, for some reason or other, the Q&A box in here isn't on. So if you've got any questions, put them in the Phoenix group on Telegram. I've got my phone in front of me. I'll see your questions. We'll make sure that your questions get asked to Brandon right now. But I've got a few things that I really do want to say, Brandon, because some of the stuff that you said there is stuff that's really, really dear to my heart. And I do believe that this industry is all about adding value to people. Too many people think that we can just go out and broadcast our message. And that's all they're doing. They're just out on broadcast. They're not listening to anybody. If you don't listen to anybody, well, why the hell should they listen to you? And so that's really, really important. So when you talk about qualifying people, that's kind of music to my ears, because I've been a salesman all my life, and I don't think I've been a salesman like most typical salesmen, because most salesmen, again, are permanently on broadcast. They have a script and they stick to the script word for word, and they just don't look people in the eyes and listen to them. Now, I've been fortunate. I've made a few quid. I made a little bit of profit, made quite a few quid selling whatever I've sold over the years. But it's because I listen to people and I find out what's important to them. And when I find out what's important to them, I can tell them why what I have to offer, whether it was when I was selling cars, when I was selling mobile homes for holidays. I don't know who keeps on muting themselves.
Oh, how do I get back in there?
Claire, I'm sorry, got to mute you. So whatever it may be, when I was sort of talking to other people, if I could relate my product back to whatever they wanted, and it's even more so important with what we have right now. If people tell you what's important to them, if they tell you that it's important that they have, like Brandon, they have a lot of children, they've got 6 children, but they live in a much smaller house than Brandon, they want a bigger house. We've got a way they can get that bigger house. We have a way that they can get whatever they want to get. And you have to listen to people and you have to let them explain to you. But here's the magical thing. You know what happens when you ask people about themselves? What happens is they like you for it, because they get to talk about their favorite subject. And their favorite subject is them. Everybody you talk to, their favorite subject is to talk about themselves. So let them. And it is absolutely magical. So, guys, I'm looking to see what questions other people might have, and I'm not seeing anybody ask anything in the Phoenix group. So I'm going to unmute. Simon, let me just look for you for a little inspiration from some notes that you might have put in whilst Brandon was talking. Anything that you have to say that came across?
Well, yeah, when I communicate with people on my WhatsApp groups and everything else, and I send out to hundreds of people, predominantly either every day or every other day. And I always get several people coming back to me wanting to know. But I like to do it on the basis of curiosity. I tell them everything, but tell them nothing. And there's an art to doing that. But what you need to do that, you need posture. You can't be weak, mamsy-pamsy. Oh, it's all about this, and you do this, and you do that. You can't. If you tell people exactly what we do, they're going to be thinking, I can't do this. This is not for me. If I've got to copy what he's doing, it's not for me. I can't do it. You need systems. You need a solution and a situation with a system. I use an email. When someone comes back to me and says, I want to know more information, I will then send them an email. And there's a reason why I do that. The reason why I do that is because then I've got a log of their details that I've sent them that email. So if I want to go back and follow up with my people, because your fortune is in your follow-up, I would then go back and see who I sent an email to, when I sent it to them, and everything else. And that's the sort of stuff I do. But I tend to send out lots. I compile WhatsApp groups, whether it be prospects. I've now got prospects 1 and prospects 2. And I send information after information after information. Now, even my wife says, oh, don't you think you're snowing them under? Yeah, so what? You can either pee them off or pee them in. I'm not bothered. I just know that I'm going to be doing this forever. So if they want to do it forever, they can do it forever. So that's just what I do.
Yeah, I do like that, Brooksy. PM off or PM in. There's no pulling punches, is there?
No.
And the reason he sends emails, guys, is because he doesn't understand social media, and he doesn't understand that when they contact him on social media, you've got their contact details as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate, I can't help it. Can't resist it. Brandon, we do have some questions coming for you. First question, Brandon, came from Ebby. Ebby wants to know, do you use, Ebby's over in Denmark, he wants to know, do you use any kind of automated email marketing?
I don't. I did in the past, but now I just do it through Instagram.
Yeah, I think I was gently having a pop at Simon there, but I think email is, people are drifting away from email and they're leaning more towards social media.
Yeah, like for example, if people are on my training site, 72-hour fast start, I use ManyChat, which is a bot system. So they can actually communicate with me through that bot, and the bot responds, but I actually do a lot of the responses on the questions that they have. So it's a great way to pull them in and have communication without the email.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing that's really important that we sort of get across to people is that when it comes to social media, something I think is massively important is people are moving away from email and they don't respond to email quite as quickly. I don't know how many times a day you check your emails. I check my emails maybe once or twice a day, but I check my social media whenever my phone rings. It's linked to my watch, and if the message comes through, it buzzes on my wrist and you check. So you can respond much, much quicker with that. Next question, Brandon, for you comes from Angela. Angela's over in Portugal. She says, when you've spoken to someone, do you then send them to what is IML, or do you invite them to next opportunity call? Or what is IM now, rather?
So I've tested both. A webinar is definitely more effective. It's more personal. They're showing up to an event. A video is typically a little bit more professional because it's been cleaned up and stuff like that. Both are good. So depending really on what their schedule is, I try and get them on a webinar. If I can't get them on a webinar because they can't show up at that time, I then do say, hey, go to whatisim.info, watch video number 2, and text message me once you're done watching that video. It's 9 minutes long. So that's been effective. So number 1, I try and get them on the webinar. Number 2, I try to get them on the video. Now, if there's a local event and they live nearby, of course, I try to get them to that one because that's top priority.
Okay, and we've got an event that Simon and I are planning to put on in January, and we're planning to do a big display of a live event for prospects to kick that thing off. What's your gut feeling on those kind of events? I know what the answer is going to be, but let's tell everybody else.
Are you asking Simon or are you asking me?
I'm asking you for that one, Brandon.
I think they're absolutely the most effective way of actually building a team.
Yeah,
I mean, no matter how much social media we have and Zoom calls like this, nothing beats in person. For example, we have our London event, and some people will be like, hey, can you just stream it? I can't make it. Well, number 1, less people would show up, and number 2, you're not going to get that energy, right? You may see it stream, but being there in person is what changes people's lives. So number 1, if they are local or even a little non-local, I would definitely have them come to in person, because of the chances of them getting started is significantly increased over a webinar and a video.
Absolutely. That London event for Simon and I, that's maybe 170, 180 miles. We drove down for the last London event in September that was available. We actually moved. There was one last month, we missed it. We were down for September, and we were blown away. Simon and I have seen a lot of these events over the years, but that was something else. And February is going to take that to a completely new level. So that's hugely important. Brandon, next question for you comes from George Sondry. George says, I've got a few people interested in the Winner's Circle and the things we're doing. However, I think I'm struggling when it comes to getting their attention. Do I just show the results, or do I let them know the benefits of the work we're doing?
Yeah, so I'm looking at this question right now. I got the Telegram. So however, I'm struggling when it comes to getting their attention. Do I just show the results, or do I let them know the benefits of the work that we're doing? Well, again, it really kind of depends on the conversation that you're having with them. I mean, at the end of the day, it's both of those things are powerful because you're working with people who are very successful at doing this. And also, here's some of the results that our group is getting. So both of those things are powerful. They're seeing the proof of the results. And then you're saying, I'm working with individuals who are really successful doing this, that are teaching me how to copy and paste their trades in less than 10 minutes a day. This is something that's completely doable for anybody. So I kind of use both.
Absolutely. Okay. And you're looking at Telegram, so you can see Brent's question there as well.
Yeah. So Brett asked, what's best for guys new to the business without deep experience in networking and still working on growing their account? Take time to redirect the folks to their social media. So I have a whole training on this one. And basically what I say is leverage the success of the people that you're working with. So for example, when I first came in, I could leverage Jason Brown. I could say, this guy's been in, here's what he's done, here's the success he's having. Because again, when you're trying to build your credibility, just like building credit, you know, you want to leverage the success of other people who are actually successful. Otherwise, what are they going to do? They're going to sit back, wait to be successful. They want to see if you're going to make money with it. And in the meantime, they're just going to kind of cross their arms. But if you actually, for example, if someone watched a presentation and they got me on a Zoom call with them, the chance of them getting started goes through the roof because they're hearing it from third-party validation from someone they don't know that's actually being successful. And so one of the best things you can do is leverage your leadership to help you actually get the credibility to where all of a sudden you become the leader yourself. So that's my secret to success, is always leveraging my leaders.
Yeah, and that's just to sort of reaffirm that. You know, I still get people on three-way calls with Simon. I know Simon gets people on three-way calls with you. And, you know, it's just, that's the way the industry works, because no matter who you are, if you're talking to a close friend, your close friend's seeing you drunk, stupid, everything else, you know, nobody has absolute credibility with close friends because they love you too much to really treat you in that way. They don't treat you with any deference. They will do with a third party. Last question.
Glenn was asking what's the biggest selling point for you to come into the winner's circle. Well, I can tell you this, the biggest selling point is the winner's circle is having more success as a team than anyone I know in the company. We got over 100,000 customers. Their win percentage, the number of pips that they're catching, and the strategy that they're doing to help people actually win is, let me just put it this way. In 4 years of doing this, I've never seen the consistency like the winner's circle is having. So you're working with a team and a group of individuals who's been doing this for a while. They've gone through the bumps in the road. They've made the adjustments that are needed, and now they have a plan and a strategy to actually make this thing happen. So in 4 years of doing this, I've never seen any team that's having the amount of consistent success that the winner's circle is having. Guys, look, I showed you on my own account that, you know, I trade big accounts, and I have an account that follows what the winner's circle's doing. So from trading for 5 years now, considering the fact that I'm following what the winner's circle's doing, I mean, I just say, my goodness, if you can't beat them, join them.
I'm blown away by that. I appreciate that. I know Simon appreciates that. We're doing what we do here, guys, because it has become more important than just making some money for us. The fact that we get feedback from you guys at the weekend when we ask to see how you've done, and we're getting feedback from people and we're saying thank you for, sometimes for modest amounts of money, sometimes for large amounts of money. And we know that the modest amounts of money is going to turn into large amounts of money. But every single thank you is hugely, hugely important. And you know what? If you bring people into it, they're going to be saying thank you to you. And it's priceless when someone says thank you to you. And something that Brandon said earlier, and it was something I meant to mention earlier, but if you really care about people in your life, if you can make money with this and you can see that it works, how much do you care if you don't tell people about it? It's like you should not be holding back on this, because honestly, I am I'm 60 years old now. I've had some success in my life. I've made some good money, but I am absolutely, totally confident that in 2020, I will probably make more money than I made in most of my 40 years in business before it, because what we have is something phenomenal. And if you can't share that with the world, you've got a real problem. You know, that is spectacularly selfish. You've got to share it with people. You can change the lives of everybody that you know right now. All you've got to do is just go and put the opportunity to them. And you don't have to evangelize. You don't have to beat them over the head and tell them they must join. Just make them aware. It's their choice what they do with it, but it's your responsibility to make them aware. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions there. So if anyone else has anything else, let me just very quickly. Okay, right, no more questions. So guys, that's pretty much it for the moment. In 10 minutes, we're going to wrap this up right now. In 10 minutes time, if you're in the winner's circle, we're going to come back on this same link. And Simon and I have an update for you of how things are going to change starting tomorrow morning to try to put more money in your pocket, and plans for next year as well on how we can make the winner's circle bigger.
And Roger, I'm going to cancel my appointment because I want to hear what you guys are doing and how I can follow. So I'm actually going to stay on this call because I'm all ears to truth. Whatever can make my life better, sign me up.
Okay, that's fabulous to hear. So guys, go grab yourself a coffee, whatever you want to do. We're going to be back in 10 minutes. We'll see you then. Bye, everybody.